1-point perspective cityscape. To begin, we're going to mark a dot on the center of our paper. That is called the vanishing point. And then with our ruler, we're going to create a variety of short horizontal lines that run left to right, just below the vanishing point, and then a few above the vanishing point. Remember to keep these short and keep them drawn left to right. Now we are going to draw some lines that line up with the vanishing point and the edge of our horizontal lines. We are only drawing from the edge of the horizontal line to the end of the paper. We are not connecting the vanishing point to our horizontal lines. As you can see, this gives us the effect of the sides of the buildings. Repeat on the horizontal lines that are below the vanishing point as well. If at any time there are vanishing lines that look like they would go inside of another building, just skip around and do not draw through. Next, we're going to draw a few short vertical lines to create some buildings on the left and the right of the vanishing point. Once again, we're going to use our vanishing point to help us draw the sides of our buildings. We're going to line it up with the edges of the top and the bottom of our vertical lines. I like to use the point of my pencil to pivot my ruler around and help me slide it to the end of each vertical line. So continue until all the vertical lines have diagonal lines that point to the vanishing point attached to them. Next, we are going to create the 3D sides of the buildings. So some of the buildings have parts of it that you could see the edges of or the sides of, and as long as you line up your ruler to the edge of those points, you can tell whether you need a line. Don't forget the 3D sides on the buildings that show a vertical side. Next, we're going to start adding some details like windows and patterns for the window panes on each building. Try to make each one a little bit different than the one next to it so that all the buildings don't look exactly the same. You're going to want to use your ruler, and all of the long lines that lead up and down the building should line up to the vanishing point. And the ones that go across should be parallel to the edge of the paper. So as you can see here, these lines are parallel to the edge of the left side of the paper. And here I'm adding some bricks, patterns. Have fun with the patterns. Look up pictures of buildings to get more ideas. Make some windows big, some small, some skinny, some tall. Have fun with it. I decided to add a smaller section to the top of this building and a spire, which is a long skinny antenna at the very top and a blinking light to warn airplanes from flying near it. So just continue to add more details. Don't forget the 3D sides. You might want to add some windows there. Try different shaped windows like arches and circles. Next, we're going to outline our buildings with a thicker Sharpie just for the outside lines. Take your time and use your ruler. As you know, Sharpie does not erase. Now we're going to switch to a thin Sharpie. This is going to be used for our thinner lines for the patterns and windows on the sides of our building walls. Take your time, continue to use your ruler. Try not to hold down the Sharpie in one place for too long, as it can cause a bleed through. The ink can paper through the paper and spread, so be mindful of that. And we're just going to erase any extra pencil lines that are showing before we add color. And now we're going to shade and add contrast to our buildings, where there might be shadows on the ledges of the windows or in between the buildings where the sun might not be shining so much. I'm also going to add some gray with my pencil to indicate some of the shadow areas as well. This helps to intensify the 3D effect when you darken or color the side of the building that's in 3D a different color. At this point, you can go ahead and color in some of the details in the buildings in whatever colors you'd like. Just consider using contrasting colors. So I'm going to do a blue and purple sky. So I decided to stick with warm colors and neutrals for my buildings. You might want to do the opposite. You can do warm colored buildings and a very cool colored sky, or you can keep your buildings black, white, and gray and make your sky whatever colors you like. So I decided to use markers to paint with for my sky. You can use colored pencil, crayons, whatever other material you want. Just try and blend your colors from the outside of the edges of the paper towards the middle to give it a more of an atmospheric effect. I also used a plastic piece of paper, or you could use a lid to your water bowl to create and mix some colors on the side and applying them where I needed more color in my sky. I'm finishing up with some details, adding extra contrast or shading onto this last building that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with, and coloring in the windows yellow so that they weren't just stark white. I hope you all have fun creating your cityscape one-point perspective illustration, and I can't wait to see what details and sky colors you decide to create with yours. Have fun!